Welcome fans of Fate Grand Order. I'm Avon, and you're watching FGO Tips. As Prisma Codes wraps up, don't forget to use up your event currency. I managed to complete every quest and every challenge, but didn't quite manage to clean out the shop. I did have a busy weekend though, at the second annual Crunchyroll Expo, and although I have some work-related travel I should be preparing for, I thought I'd take a minute, while I can, to talk about the convention. Just a quick video, no script, no prep, so please forgive me if I repeat myself. Now, the inaugural CRX last year featured a panel about FGO, but this year, the game was on full display. The convention badges came on these lovely lanyards, featuring Mosh and Altria. I know, hashtag not my saber. As soon as you cleared the bag checks, you got to badge in with servants like Nero, Drake, and Mordred. There were even standing decorations around the building and outside panels, something fun to look at while waiting in lines, as one is so apt to do at conventions. And it wasn't just the convention organizers, because the fans were on full display as well. Cosplay from Fate Extra, Fate Apocrypha, and of course, Fate Grand Order. This shield, you should have seen it. Hats off to Mosh, Leonardo, and Roman here. At the Aniplex Industry panel, we heard about how today's menu for the Emiya family is streaming on Crunchyroll right now. If you haven't seen this show, by the way, it's where we got this great clip that was circulating during the summer event. The full collection of movies for Garden of Sinners is coming to Blu-ray later this month, and if you haven't seen this one yet, do yourself a favor and check it out. Also streaming on Crunchyroll in case the Blu-rays are a bit pricey. Longtime viewers of mine will know about how I have been failing to roll Jack for over a year now, but Shiki has been saving my butt ever since the Karano Kyokai collab event back in February. Next up, there was a mention about Heaven's Feel Part 1, Presage Flower, which is coming to Blu-ray as well, but you'll have to wait until November for that one. Even better though, Heaven's Feel Part 2, Lost Butterfly, is coming to theaters next year. And of course, they couldn't pass up the chance to show off some of their new merch. I got a chance to check it out at the expo hall, by the way, after waiting in line just to get into the Aniplex area, and the stuff looks pretty cool. Fate Grand Order dual sets, and this crazy new Jeanne d'Arc figure. Oh, and of course, Excalibur. Taking the discussion back to the game, there was also a localization panel featuring Albert himself. By the way, Albert, if you don't know him, is the localization producer of FGO North America. He's a huge fan of the series and an avid player who plays the game without any special perks or privileges, and apparently he's been known to burn his wallet for the gachas more than once. All the times I've seen him at conventions, Albert has also served the role of kinda like a hype man for the game and its upcoming events. Never in a phony way though. I think he genuinely looks forward to these events as much as we do. This time he didn't try to play it off as big news though. We know that by following along with the events that the JP servers ran through in the past, we can already make pretty educated guesses about what's coming up, and he's well aware of it. I think his exact words were something along the lines of, everyone in this room already has EX level awareness. Nevertheless, we got the formal announcement for Nero Fest, coming back to NA from September 13th to the 25th. But we didn't dwell on this. He actually spent the rest of the time talking about the actual localization process and answering questions, which I thought was pretty cool. He talked about how working on NA is tough sometimes because of the tight relationship with Japan, how his team handles the translations and making sure things will play well for a North American audience before tossing it back to Japan for the programming phase. Then the final product comes back to Albert's team for QA before it launches to us. Because of this nature, Japan still has the final say on everything, including ultimately the schedule. He also talked about how his team advocates for us to get things like battle animation updates before the point at which they were released in JP, rather than waiting for the events they originally launched with. Apparently, sometimes this works, like how we started the game with the Grail system already in place, and sometimes the ideas get vetoed, or aren't technically feasible. But it's cool to know that they're thinking of us. He also shared a pretty great story about how he ended up working at Aniplex, which involved sending them an angry email about how the original subtitles didn't properly reflect Shira's incantation for Unlimited Blade Works. But I'll save the rest of that for another time because this is already getting longer than I intended it to be. So I'm just going to conclude with a thank you to Albert, to Aniplex, and to Crunchyroll for a great weekend. If any of you were able to attend, let me know what you thought. Doesn't have to be Fate related, but those are the events I tried to attend. Don't forget Nero Fest is coming up later this month. I want to put together a video on it ASAP, but as I mentioned, I have a little travel to take care of first. I also want to do something a little special in London as long as I can fit it into my schedule. I have to work while I'm there, but I'm gonna try to squeeze some fun time at the end of the week. Wish me luck, please. I hope you enjoyed my rambling thoughts on CRX. Regular Fate content returning soon, I promise. But in the meantime, I just want to say, thanks for watching.